Call to Action on Puerto Rico, and we joined the International Working Women's Day Coalition in commemorating the historic and present-day struggles of working-class women against capitalist misery, exploitation, and oppression. March 8th, International Working Women's Day, is also a day in which we lift up the memory of the 123 women and girls and 23 men who died in the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire on March 25th, 1911, when the bosses locked the doors to the stairwells and the exits of the factory, a practice they habitually engaged in to prevent the predominantly immigrant garment workers from going outside for breaks. These and other martyred workers throughout history both haunt and urge us to continue to expose and denounce the exploitation and present-day conditions of women in sweatshops and in the fields here and around the world. We stand with working women and giant conglomerates like Amazon, whose sweatshop conditions and blatant anti-union tactics violate the rights of working people to organize for safe working conditions and decent wages. And we celebrate and stand with Black women, Indigenous women, women of color, and immigrant working class women whose leading roles in the many struggles against the vicious exploitation and oppression of communities of color in this country, most recently the genocidal impact of COVID-19 on our communities, are contributing to a new narrative that actively combats the racist, misogynist, and genocidal narrative the oppressors have fed us here and around the world. We also celebrate and stand with the working women of Puerto Rico, past and present, who have played and continue to play a leading role in our independence movement and in the mass movements against colonial abuse and exploitation. We especially remember the women who most recently fought against the U.S. Navy's 60-year presence in and bombing of the island of Vieques, the women who were leaders in the historic massive protests of 2019, which led to the first ever ouster of a sitting governor, the women who are leading campaigns against femicide, which is increasing in the form of violent and horrific rapes and assassinations of women and girls, and the particular hatred and targeting of trans women. And we stand with the women who are raising their voices against the despicable racism, misogyny, xenophobia, homophobia, and transphobia, which continue to divide and further exploit the working class of Puerto Rico as it does the working class of the United States. A call to action will continue to lift up and stand in solidarity with the struggles of working class women, especially women of color and oppressed people in the United States, in Puerto Rico, and around the world against capitalist exploitation and oppression. Let us unite our forces and make it clear to the oppressors that we're fed up, fired up, and standing up against their greedy reign. Viva International Working Women's Day. Viva Puerto Rico. Lucha sigue. The struggle continues. Thank you.